Welcome back to my shop. This is Spanky Gibson of Spanky Gibson Produces, and I've only done a couple of videos out here, but they've got some really great fan reception. Not that I have many fans, but hey, I'm going to call it that because I can. I'm in my happy place. I'm in my shop. But I was watching YouTube videos early this morning while I was drinking coffee, and one of them I've been watching him for a long time, at least a year or two. It's called 3 of 7 Project, or Navy SEAL Chad Wright. And I used to first started watching him because he was doing shooting videos, but then he started doing these really good short talks, 6, 7, 8 minutes tops, called his truck talks. And it made me think. I have my typical, 30 videos I've done now where I'm doing it behind my desk. It's more of a formal, and I'm also watching videos where people are saying those aren't becoming as receptive as possible. Now, I enjoy them. I enjoy going to YouTube, and that's why I started it years ago, to gather information on something I was doing. Maybe do it yourself project, or using people's expertise to figure out how to fix something on a vehicle or around the house. And it made me think this morning. I was enjoying my coffee and I went, people seem to like these more personal videos more so than the instructional videos. And especially the ones I do on leadership. Now, I think leadership is entailed into everything that we do, but I want to know from you all, would you like to see what I'm going to kind of not steal from him, but use him as a muse or as an idea? Instead of truck talks, I'm going to sit down here and do shop talks. What would you guys think of that? What would you think of just these really quick, impromptu, non-planned videos that are kind of going over what are the hot topics of that time and how that deals with leadership? I think that everything deals with leadership. We can sit back and assume that understanding leadership traits and principles really doesn't benefit me, or it doesn't help me in any way, but I'm going to tell you it does. It does in every aspect of our life, whether it's me out here in the shop and I'm planning something out, or I'm trying to figure out a problem to overcome, kind of like this thing over my shoulder here with all the clamps on it, the mid portion of a tabletop. I have to go back to certain traits and principles when things might not go exactly the way I want it. I have to figure out, I have to use my brain a little bit, maybe come at a different direction, or in some cases, unfortunately, destroy it and start over again. And anybody that works with wood, especially pretty decent wood, knows that sucks. If you have to start over on a project you've spent hours and hours and hours on because maybe you failed to plan, or an unfortunate accident happens and you start over, it can piss you off. But really, the reason I wanted to come out here was to think of that. I really like Chad Wright's truck talk videos. I mean, he covers a wide aspect of current events and or faith-based principles, or to explain something that someone commented about on a previous video for him. And I think it's a good way to relax. It's a good way to just, meet the individual in a different perspective. Like I've said in those last 2 videos that I've published out here, which is a new thing for me, you get to see a different side, or like I said, different perspective of that person. It sounds like storytelling or conversation is being received better than instructional or educational based information or those videos. And it's kind of cool because we can come out here and we can just be open with whatever is bothering us, or open to answer someone's questions. And I see that more and more. I just answered one a little bit ago before I came out here to get to work. Another small YouTube creator watched the video that I published yesterday on what the hell is basically going on in this country. Is it, is the United States going crazy? If you haven't seen it, please watch it. And he hadn't. Dinner last night with some friends of ours that just got back off a month-long trip. I started bringing up some of those topics from 2 days ago with the, Wisconsin governor primary for the Democrats and the governor of Massachusetts signing the new, abortion law into play that goes all the way to birth. And I started bringing up those topics at dinner because, we talk about those things normally. And neither one of them knew what I was talking about. So I have to remember, a lot of times I might make a video and I may be talking about something that bothers me or that I think is something needs to be in conversation. And many, many people might not have a damn clue what I'm talking about. And so that's the part of this short video. Would you like to see me talk about current events, how leadership plays into part with that, in this environment, in these 6 to 8 minute videos that I want to call shop talks? Would it be interesting to you? Do you think it would gravitate to a larger audience that might not stay in tune with mainstream media or social media news because they've gotten to the point where it's just, bothered them so much they just give up on it? They just would rather walk away from understanding what's going on because it just makes them feel in a way that they don't want to feel. And I get that. I discussed that in that video yesterday. So if you would, let me know through the comment section what you think. I'll get back to them. I read them all. If you think this is a good idea, tell me. If you like this kind of content that's a little bit more in-your-face conversation, like this and share it with your friends. And definitely, if you would, please subscribe to Spanky Gibson Produces. I've got my shorts and my longs all on one platform now. And when you subscribe to that, please watch some of my other videos. Kind of like the ones I'll be putting up with this short video. It'll be up there. Go back, look at my work, look at the way I'm changing over time, coming up with the different ideas on how to communicate with each and every one of you. And if it's worth me doing and it's received, I'll start doing these. I spend a lot of time out here, especially during these hot weeks we have right now here in Oklahoma. But once again, thank you. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. And stay tuned to new content out here in the shop. And maybe, just maybe, it'll be called Shop Talks with Spanky Gibson. Good to see you guys. Pleasure. Thank you. And till next time.